Hello and welcome. It's Jason and Zach with RTV Technologies, and today we want to talk about QR codes. So QR codes have become a part of everyday life. We scan them without thinking about it, whether we're talking about menus, parking meters, tracking a package, going to a conference. You have the QR codes on your conference badges, restaurant tables. And this is exactly why attackers like them, because unlike a normal web link, you can't see where a QR code is taking you before you scan it. So in other words, you're making a trust decision before you have any information here. So Zach, let's get into some real world examples and kind of some takeaways here.
Yeah. So a great example, and I run into this, when I travel. Every time I travel, this is kind of where my head goes. And a simple fact is you go to a restaurant anymore and there's probably going to be a QR code on your table, right? You're going to go to the restaurant, you're going to sit down, you may or may not have a waiter or waitress, and there's going to be a QR code right there in case you want to order. I don't know about you, but most of the time I'm just like, cool, got it. Snap a photo and then kind of go there. Well, that's not that good. And as a cyber guy, cybersecurity professional, I understand that that's not good. But again, we've been trained to do that anymore. We're trained to spot phishing links and suspicious links and suspicious web browsers and things like that. But QR codes are a whole different realm. It's a physical thing in front of you, right? So you're like, oh, okay, whatever. Well, again, that's what we're here to talk about. And they're really scary because you don't actually know where it's going, like Jason said. Now, in order to combat that, there's a few things that you can do to understand. First, always look at the photo. So if you have your camera, you put it over the QR code, and there's going to be something that pops up underneath that's the link. Now, one of the things you can do is take a close look at that link before clicking it, because it'll say where it's going. Always check it. That's step one. Because just like a suspicious phishing link or a suspicious email account, it's always going to be a little funky, right? If it's a Microsoft login, it's going to be Microsoft.com is the real one, not Microsoft-login.com or something of that sort. Okay, so that's step one. Then if you click on it, you go to the website. Now, if you're at a restaurant, typically you should be able to see the menu and stuff, right? Uh, if it's phishing or it's malicious, it's going to either download something to your machine or it's going to have a pop-up to be like, hey, I need you to click this and interact with it. That's usually bad. That's not real. So those are a couple ways just in the beginning that you can start to think about what it actually does, where it's actually going, and whether it's legitimate.
Yeah, I like the way you pointed out the action that it might ask you to do. Like for example, if that code asks you to sign in to something unexpectedly or enter payment information, download software or provide credentials, those are the red flags. And just the lesson here is the QR code itself is not the problem. It's just another way to open a website. But the real question is, do you trust where that's taking you? So, the big takeaway, like a lot of these things we talk about are slow down. And like Zach was saying, when you're scanning that QR code, the phone should show the destination before you open it. So pay attention to what that is. And, that quick check can tell you everything you need to know. So, Zach, any closing thoughts here before we close this out?
Yeah. Again, a lot like the changes and the evolving nature of phishing scams, I think QR codes are going to be the same kind of way, where you just need to pay attention to what's going on. Because most of the time, it's not going to be like, oh, I'm at a restaurant, it takes me to my Microsoft login. That makes no sense, right? It's going to be something similar. It's going to be very close to what the real thing is, and you're going to have to pay more and more attention as things evolve around us and we interact with them more.
Yeah, yeah. Well said. Pay attention to those things, because in closing, the safest habit isn't avoiding QR codes. It really is verifying where they lead before you trust them. So I hope this was valuable for everybody. Stay safe out there, stay vigilant, and we'll see you next time.